Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Programming Thor with Grant. Last time we had a look at modulating the pitch of the Analog Oscillator using the LFO. And before we leave the oscillator, I just wanted to mention that there's actually a different form of modulation that you can apply to it, which is quite useful. And if we select the square wave oscillator, or the pulse wave should I say, if you remember back, we had the pulse width setting knob, which went from square in the middle to a very narrow pulse that disappears, back through the middle, and a very narrow pulse at the other end. What we can do is use the LFO to automatically modulate the pulse width, and it gives quite a nice effect. So what I'll do is I'll just completely delete this row of the modulation matrix, which was set up for mod wheel vibrato on the oscillator. So just press this clear button and that should get rid of everything. So again, we want to use the source as LFO1. Destination, we want to make oscillator 1 pulse width. And it has to be on the square wave, otherwise the pulse width modulation won't have any effect. So we want to bring the LFO rate down because pulse width modulation can be quite an extreme effect. So we'll bring it down to less than 1 Hz. And if we play the key and I slowly introduce pulse width modulation, and if we increase the rate of pulse width modulation, you'll hear the effect of that. So it sounds a bit like vibrato, but there's also a sort of timbral movement in it as well. And you'll find that the lower the note you play, the more severe the same rate of LFO will sound. So you've got a lot of detune there, but it's actually quite gentle when you play at the other end of the scale. So ways round that are to either reduce the intensity of the pulse width modulation, or decrease the rate of And that's all I want to say about pulse width modulation. I suppose we could vary the intensity of it via the mod wheel, like we did previously with vibrato. So again, we'll scale it by 100% and we'll kick the rate up a wee bit. So it's just a plain square wave, and then as we introduce the pulse width modulation, you can hear the effect getting stronger and stronger the more we move the mod wheel up. So we could probably increase the rate quite a bit. And I think that's quite enough to be doing for one episode. So see you next time.